So, Dr. J, how do I improve my credit?
Well, we're going to ignore that the ultimate goal is to not use your credit. So let's just say we're going to try not to be in debt, but I'm going to go with how do we improve our credit. First thing is, your FICO score is not a measure of how good you are financially. Just want you to know that. And when you hear this FICO score, it's a kind of a black box magic math that has components that says, okay, how much debt have you taken out and how have you managed it? It does not at all look at how much money you have, how you budget, your net worth, nothing. It's all about debt. Now, the thing about a FICO score is it impacts things like your insurance rates. Because if you actually have a low credit score, they think you're more dangerous for insurance. I don't know, the math works for them, but whatever. It also can impact your job. So if you go for, especially like security clearances, you need to have good credit. So those like, aha, they can be bribed. Now, those scores, not a good measure. So I don't want you doing things for the score. I get people, well, my score is 700. How am I? I'm like, oh, there's no impact of your life. The only reason I still have a score is because we have a mortgage, but otherwise, once that's gone, I wouldn't really have a score. Now, bonus is once you get your score over 800, you can get whatever debt you want. Well, if you watch the video on is there good or bad debt, you're going to find out I'm going to say don't get any more debt. You got to watch the reasons you're doing this. But let's say you want to improve your credit. Couple things. Pull your credit report every year. You should be doing that anyway. You can go to annual credit report. There's a free site every year. Pull all three. While you're at it, I want you to freeze your credit on all three. Here's what that does. That prevents you from taking out more debt, but it also helps prevent some of the identity theft stuff. So we're going to freeze our credit on all three. You're going to look at your credit report and see if there's anything not you. This actually happens more than you think. If you were in a relationship where you're sharing credit, got divorced, something like that, got to pause, look and see, make sure it's all your debt. Also, you're probably going to find some stuff on there that you didn't even realize was on there. Now, medical debt, in theory, with a new law, should not be negatively impacting you, but they may have it coded elsewhere. I actually had this. I had a period of time where I did not have insurance. I had a kidney stone. But if you've never had a kidney stone, count yourself blessed because that really sucks. But you had to do a CAT scan and whatever the imaging was, and I had a $300 bill that I never got. I swear I never got it. They said they meant it to me. I don't know. It was on my credit report. It takes 7 years for that stuff to disappear. So I called them up, said, here, let me give you your $300. I mean, like, $300 is not a problem, but I didn't know. So I had to pay that off. So look for things that's got to get pulled off that. That's going to immediately improve your credit. Then, if we follow the money management system, must, shoulds, coulds, if you take your must and put those all on auto pay, that's your credit report. There's your credit card minimum payments, your house payment, your auto payment, anything on a monthly bill. If you put that on auto pay, you will never miss it. Now, a couple tips on this. Only the minimum goes on auto pay. So a great example is you really only should keep your credit card if you get into a zero balance. But sometimes something gets charged, whatever it is, a Netflix on there, and you don't realize it. And as soon as it goes 30 days over, it's negatively hitting your credit. So you just say, okay, auto pay this $25 minimum pay, whatever it is. If you've got a point where you got zeros on all your credit cards, that's what we want. We're going to go back to that Netflix and intentionally put it on a card. So if you put your Netflix on there and automatically pay it off, I don't know. They keep raising the price. Call it $20. I can never keep track exactly how much my Netflix is. It's going to now charge every month, pay off every month automatically. Well, now what's going to happen is that's going to drive your credit scores through the roof because it shows the good payments over time. One caution on that, make sure that's a credit card you don't have an annual fee on. If you have an annual fee, that card's got to go away because I'm not paying to borrow money. So we've got to do that. Now, a couple other things on this improving your credit. General rules. Do not co-sign for anyone with credit. Because if you're co-signing, the bank's already decided they're not good enough to give a loan to. And now they're saying it's your debt. Do not co-sign for it. You can also be very careful with your spouses or whoever you're sharing your credit for, because they can tank it just as well as you can. And you're like, oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, but they didn't pay their bill and you're on their card. Well, becomes an issue. Also, if you're negotiating debt, which we have a separate video on that, that's actually going to be a negative mark on your credit report, but it'll stop it from recurring and keep going. Bankruptcy, once again, going to be a negative mark, 7 years, going to work its way out. What's going to happen is anything that like you see these services, I'm going to improve you by 50 points overnight on your credit report. Bull. Okay, that's not a real thing. What they're doing is they're looking to see on your credit report if there's something that shouldn't be on there and removing it, which I just told you to do, and you can do that for free. You don't have to pay them to do it. And they say, well, debt consolidation. Well, what that does is they just don't pay your bills for 6 months and then they negotiate it. Guess what that does to your credit? Kills it. So you have to change it over time. Now, if you decide you embrace, hey, you go to the Dave Ramsey world and you are no debt on anything, you have no credit cards, no mortgage, eventually you'll have no credit score. That does not mean you are worthless. That means you have no credit score. It actually means you've solved the debt game and gotten out of it completely. Some people, what they do instead is keep 1 or 2 credit cards on that Netflix and they'll just keep your credit score good. A lot of the credit score is just over time. Good payments over time. You're not going to do it overnight. If you come to me and say, hey, I need to have my credit up because I'm applying for something in the next, there's no magic. So it's about your behaviors over time. The other part of it is most credit card companies now, or if you have an account with Mint, others, will do a monthly check on your credit report. It'll have alerts. If you've frozen it, there's nothing that should be going on there, but those alerts are helpful for identity theft and other things. So you have to manage your credit. And you go, well, I don't want to look at my report. Well, then you need to look at it immediately.
Well, this is a good reminder for me because I haven't checked my credit score in a few years. So.
And did you freeze your credit reports yet?
No, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. And by the way, when you freeze them, they'll give you like either a PIN or like a way to go back in. And what that does is if you've frozen them, you can't take out new accounts, but also somebody who stole your social security number can't take it out either. It's just a little protection. And you got to do it for both you and your spouse.
Very smart. And can you unfreeze it at any time if you end up like your plans change and you do need to take out a loan, you just go in and unfreeze it?
Yep, you can unfreeze it either for just like one person. You're like, hey, I want to take out this mortgage, or I want to unfreeze it for a month because I'm going to shop around prices, or I can just shut it off. But I always forget that I've had it frozen, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm shopping for, oh yeah, that's right. Hold on. You go in the app and unfreeze it. But it also, the other thing is it slows you down. Like, so you're not like, oh, this new credit card looks great with points. I have to unfreeze I'll forget it. I'm not going to do it.